Hello everybody, I'm Margie from the Paul Sawyer Public Library. Thank you for joining us today. We are going to have fun with salt. I have several activities that we're going to do with salt today. Some of the supplies you are going to need, we're going to use just any kind of colored paper that you have at home. I have some construction paper here. Of course, a container of salt. If you have some squirt glue at home, and then if you have any food coloring at home. This is optional. I'll show you what we can do with this food coloring, but if you have some, I think you'll enjoy the activity. So our first activity is we are going to make some snowflakes using salt and glue, like the example I have here. Very simple. I like to use a tray. If you don't have a tray like this at home, you can use a cookie sheet, or you can use a bigger piece of paper. So I'm gonna take my squirt glue and I'm going to make some designs of snowflakes. This is where you can be creative. Kids can make any design they want. Remember, all snowflakes are very different. This is a good time to have that conversation with kids that no two snowflakes are exactly the same. So after you have your glue on, I'm gonna have that one be a little bit longer. All you need to do is take your salt and shake heavily over the glue that you have used. And kids love to do this part. Once you have all the salt on there, then you just shake it off. And then you can set this out to dry. As it starts to dry, every so often you'll want to pick it up and shake it again to have all the loose parts of salt, loose pieces of salt come off. Another activity I have is to take a tray like this or just a cookie sheet and fill it with salt. This is a great fine motor activity for those kids that are learning how to hold a pencil or write their name or need to practice letters. They can use their fingers to write different things in the salt. And then once they've completed a letter, or maybe they're working on a number, like the number 0, after they're finished, they just erase it away. They can also draw pictures in the salt. So here's my flower that I'm drawing. So this is just a fun activity to give your kids some extra practice with fine motor. Another activity we have is, if you want to get creative, having different color salt. So this is just regular salt that I have colored using food coloring, and I want to show you how I do this. It's not hard at all. So I'm going to put some just salt on my tray once again, and then I'm going to take my food coloring and I'm going to make a couple of drops of food coloring in the salt. And then I'm gonna take a craft stick or anything like this that you have at home, and you are just gonna break up those clumps of food coloring. And as you work those clumps of food coloring into the other, it starts to change the salt into a different color, just like that. It takes a little patience, but for kids, they would love to do this because it's pretty interesting how this all comes together and changes from white into whatever color you're looking for. And then, once again, you can take your colored paper and you can take your glue and make a design just like this. Let's do a heart. And then you can take your colored sand, or excuse me, colored salt. It feels like sand. Colored salt, and sprinkle over that glue. Just like this. And then when you're ready, you can shake off the extra. And you have a pretty heart. Thank you all so much for joining us. We'll see you another day.